This no-code AI agent can transform your sales pipeline from chaos to conversion. Learning this stuff alone is tough. That's why I created a private community where you can get answers, share your wins, and connect with people on the same journey. Join us. The link is in the description. I'll see you inside. In this build, we will go from a form submission for a new lead. In this case, it'll be a dental service. We will take that form submission, run it through an agent. It will generate some feedback for us in terms of some of the things that we offer from our business, and it'll create a Google slide for presentation for the lead, and it'll email the lead that presentation. So you can imagine if you're shopping your business, for example, a dentist office, you're searching a couple places in your area, you send in your information, you want a grill, you want braces, you want whitening, whatever the case may be, and nearly immediately you get a tailored personal response to your request. Not some run-of-the-mill, thank you for reaching out, someone will be with you. It's like you'll get a PowerPoint that tells you exactly the solution that they have for you. We can start off the flow here with the trigger. So if we go to the N8N form event, we can title this sales call logging form. So for example, people are filling out forms to come and see the dentist, and we're trying to figure out what they're looking for. So we can go ahead and add a form element, and we can do what is your name. It'll be text. We say John Smith is a placeholder. And we can go ahead and add another element. We can say maybe, for a dental office, probably makes sense to break these out. I don't know if that gets annoying, but if you need, just because of legalities, to get full names, some regulations, and Smith. We can go ahead and collect their email. Just a very simple lead form. Require this, and we can go ahead and do a text area. And we can go ahead and ask them or tell us what you are looking for. And we'll require this field. And if we go to execute step, here we are. We can say fit Bozar, where's your email? And I am looking to put a diamond grill on. All right, so we submit that. So we can see that we have an output here, schema table JSON. We can go ahead and pin this, so this just means that this is our output. We don't have to continue to rerun this. The next node we want to add, so we're getting leads from the internet and they're submitting this form. We can do a Google Sheet and capture all of these leads there. So we can append row and sheet. And again, you want to make sure that your Google account is connected here. If it's not, you can go ahead and do that. Append a row, and we should see the document drop here from the list. And we can pick our sheet. So we'll just drag over the information here. So what is your first name? We can drop this in. What is your last name? What is your email? And finally, tell us what you're looking for, what your problem is. So if we go ahead and execute this step, here we have the information, and it's a very simple Google Sheet lead form. So here it is, it populated this for me. So if we go back here, one of the things we can add is a wait node. In the wait node, we can just add maybe 20 seconds just because we're going to send an email after this. But for this case, we can, in the example, we can create a draft. So create a draft. You want to make sure that your Gmail API is connected here. Resource, it's a draft. Operation create, this is the subject of the email, so we can say, so what's cool, dental office? Welcome to Tooth Be Told. We have email type text, and this is the message that we will send to our lead. It's going to wait 20 seconds. So we executed the previous step, and now we can go ahead and enter a message. So for this, this is just the email that the lead is going to get. And we can just drag the first name and just a welcome. So we want to touch the lead immediately just to let them know that we're on it and we'll be reaching out to them. So we have your request and we will be reaching out, blah, 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 or whatever your first email would be to your lead. In our business, again, we call our leads. So, but this is an email just to let them know. Who knows? We have so many leads. We're just constantly busy with phone calls. And another important thing to add here, we want to add to email, and we'll just drag over the email from the form submission over here. If we execute the step, there we are. Schema, table, JSON. For the next node, we will add an OpenAI node. So we want to message the model. And here you want to connect your OpenAI AP account up at the top. Resource text, we're messaging the model. The model we can pick here, I mean, you can pick whatever you want, but we can go with mini. And this is just giving the model, telling them what they are. So we can say, we want to add a prompt here to tell the model what we're looking for and what we want it to do. So you can give it some important information about your request, but then also you can tell it how you want the output. So for example, we can add at the end that we want it in JSON form and put some parameters around how it's reporting back to us. This is the prompt I use. So you can see I just gave it some information about the task. I told it that I want the JSON in a particular form, so I laid it out here. And also some details around the rules, just good housekeeping, because it kind of narrows down the output that you're going to get if you tell the model that you want a certain tone or how you're looking for things to be delivered in output. It really saves you a lot of back and forth. So you can obviously prompt it any way you want. It's not a science, but you iterate and you'll find something that works for you. We can go ahead and add an assistant prompt here. This kind of helps the model refer to messages that we sent to it. So here's what I put in the assistant prompt, and you can see it's kind of guiding the model using JSON format. We can go ahead and add the actual prompt. So role as user. So this is exactly what we're asking the model to do. So we're in JSON format here, and we want the model to respond to the form submitter's first name and also their problem. So here we can just go ahead and drop in the first name and the problem. We can execute the step. Here we have the output. So schema table JSON. You can see we have content generated by ChatGPT, and we can move on to add another node. If we look at the output here in the OpenAI model, we can see that the topic title is embedded into the content here, and we want the topic title to be outside so we can drag it. The best way to fix this is just to adjust your prompting. For example, when we're giving it the JSON terms, the agent, we could have been maybe a little more clear or had better prompts. That is by far the easiest way to fix any issues that you have. But I just want to go over another way that you can do it if you're ever just lost completely. Here in ChatGPT, I literally just dropped a screenshot of the output I'm having trouble with. I asked ChatGPT to pull the topic title out of the content, and it will give me some JavaScript here. You can literally just come here, screenshot, ask the question, and you can copy this. And now we can take this over to N8N and add a node that will be able to parse this out for us. But it just gives an example of, you want to fix it by doing better prompts to the model. But if you're ever in a situation where no matter how you're prompting it, you're getting an output you don't like, you have this option where you can just screenshot it, come to ChatGPT, have it generate you some Java, and we can paste it in to get it fixed. Back on the workflow here, we can go ahead and just add another node. So if we just type in code, we can just replace this Java with the Java that we literally just copied from ChatGPT. So if we paste this in, we execute the step. Quick pause. If this video is remotely helpful, hit the subscribe button and we'll level up together. We can see the topic title was pulled out here in the output. So the next thing we want to do is add a Google Drive node, and we will do copy a file. In here, you want to make sure that your Google Drive account is connected. We have other videos on the channel that will show you how to go through that. And we're doing a file as a resource, we're doing a copy, and from here you'll have a list of all the items in your Google Drive. So we'll select the appropriate file here. We pulled the Google Slides from the Google Drive here on the list, and for file name, we just come to form submission. We'll pull in the first name, and we can also pull in the topic title. Go ahead and execute the step. So we can see here that we have the file name is Fit Dental Grills. The next node we'll add is Google Drive, and we will do share a file. You want to have your Google Drive account connected, resource file, operation share. From the list, you can go ahead and drop in the Google ID from the copy file here. And we can add permissions to be a reader and anyone. So this is anyone's able to read and see the file. The next node will add Google Slides, and we will do replace text in a file. You want to connect to your Google Slide account. If you haven't done that, it's at the Google Cloud Console. You'll be able to add Google Slides, Google Sheets, Google Drive, all the Google products there. So we'll execute the previous nodes. For presentation ID, important here, we want to take it from copy file, not the share file node. So we can just bring in the ID here. This is the Google Slide that I'm using. Again, it's a very simple 4-page template. Just has the first name of the person coming in. It has some solutions and solution headings. I'll include this resource, and you can go ahead and download it, change it to your use case. So if you have maybe a different type of service business, you can generate these slides uniquely for new submissions that come in. But just important to note here, just because as we continue on the build out, you'll see how we're able to dynamically replace some of the text in this to some of the information that OpenAI is generating for us. Back here on the Google Slide replace text node, we would click the text to replace. So if we go back to the slide, we see first name, right? So we would just copy this. We would come back in here. It would search for, we'll keep this fixed because it's constantly searching for this. And we can replace with what is the first name from the form submission. So it's dynamically searching what was submitted in the form to put it into the Google Slides. So we can add more text to replace. So if we go back to here, we can see the topic title. So we can take the topic title and we can come over, search for the topic title, and now we parse it out, right? Because we had to pull the topic title out. So we'd come here, we'd drag this down, replace with the topic title. Another text we want to replace, if we go back to the slide, the overview description. So we can pull this, come back to the build out, search for it, make sure it's fixed, and we can drag and drop. Another one. DJ Khaled, another one. Solution heading. Search for that. Make it fixed. Solution heading 1. Another one. Come back here. The description now. We'll just copy that. Search for a description. Here's a description. Drop it down. What else is in the slide? Solution heading 2. Come here, solution heading 2, fixed. Solution heading 2. Another one. This. And it would be fixed. Solution description 2. It's so hard not to say another one, another one. Solution heading 3. Fixed. And finally, drag this, fixed, and solution description 3. Okay, cool. So what this is basically doing, it's pulling the information that we have generated from OpenAI and the context that we've given it, and it will auto-populate our Google slide. So we can go ahead and click execute step. And there we are. Want to see faster results? My community is packed with people who are already building and automating. Get access to their strategies and shortcuts. We're diving deep into the topics, and I'm sharing all the best strategies. Join us. The link is in the description. I'll see you inside. Coming back here, we will add a wait node. This will take, depends on your internet, but and your computer. We'll give it 60 seconds to generate, and now we can add a Gmail node. We will do create a draft, and here you want your account tied. It will create a draft, operation create. We can add a subject here. So if we execute our previous nodes, we can put the name of the individual and also the title of the service that they want to complete. For the subject line, we will go to the topic title, and we can also go to the form submission and pull the name. Now for the message, we want to change this to HTML, and now in here we can craft a custom message. Here is the message I wrote. So again, this HTML, if you're not familiar with HTML, you will have this template, so you can just literally copy and paste what is in here. So it's just, hey, the name from the submission form, thank you for your interest, and we're taking the topic title again. If you remember, we parsed it out. So this one is dental grills, as you can see what it would look like over here. And also you'll get the links as well. So right here, we're able to drop in the link to the presentation. So now, as soon as someone signs up, they are nearly immediately sent an email with a presentation directed towards kind of the solution that they're looking for by coming to the dental office. So if you think of your own service, if it's maybe landscaping, house cleaning, commercial cleaning, anything, I don't know, you can create these slides and just generate them basically automatically and pre-populate them with form submission information. And this just gives you a competitive advantage in terms of if people are shopping their business to maybe many different providers, you have that extra touch because you're actually delivering a PowerPoint with some interesting information when maybe other leads, maybe other businesses don't respond to the lead as fast. But again, if you're trying to actually win, we call our leads here. So we give them that personal touch. How you doing? Saw you reached out. How can we provide service for you? Of course we can do it. We'll do it better than the competition. I don't know if we'll do it cheaper, but we'll do it better. And if we come out here now, if we just go and execute this step. So if I go to my Gmail, I should see a draft that includes this information and a link to the Google Slides presentation that we generated. So we can go check that now. Quick pause. If this video is remotely helpful, hit the subscribe button and we'll level up together. We're back in the created draft. I did make a mistake in the HTML here. So this is the adjusted HTML. Again, if you have any issues with HTML or JSON, you can take a screenshot of kind of your bottleneck, post it into any LLM, OpenAI, whatever you want, and it'll help you. And you can literally copy and paste the code snippet or JSON, whatever you have, and place it here in N8N. So here's the adjustment that'll be provided to you. Now with the new HTML, we can execute the step, and I should have a draft waiting for me in my mailbox. Here we are in my inbox, and we see a draft was generated. So we have the topic title, if you remember, that we pulled, and the name of the form submission, and we have our little email that we wrote, and here is the Google Drive link that we added that includes our presentation. An important thing to note, you can also add this as an attachment if you feel like it. So you don't have to send a link. You can include an attachment, kind of whatever direction you want to go in when reaching out to your leads if you're not calling them. So we can click the Google Drive link and see the presentation in there. Here's the slide that we auto-populated using OpenAI to fill in the content. Created it specifically for the requests that I submitted. I wanted dental grills, so it put a little deck together for me. So it says, welcome to Tooth Be Told. Provide you the best experience with our dental grills. We see we get precious metals like stones and diamonds. And yeah, so we can click on a couple pages. They give us more information here. Again, remember how we slip these out and it just gets auto-populated by OpenAI's content. After fitting, we provide maintenance and care, so you don't damage the stones or your teeth and have a really confident look. And if we go back to the whole overview here, this is what we built. So to summarize, a form came in from a lead. In this case, we used a dentist's office. We were able to get that information, put it into an LLM, generate specific content for them, including their name, some solutions for them. We were able to create a file in Google Drive, create a Google slide sheet, and send this off to the lead near instantaneously. So it's, if you just come in, what business is doing that? You'll get some like terrible auto response email, but here you can add so much more touch. If you put some design into the email, you can send a brochure. It really adds like just a really unique wrinkle to your business, so you can really differentiate yourself and stand out. If you don't want to send a Google Drive link, just here in the last node, you can remove the information here from the expression that has the link, and just here add option, and you can do the attachment. So whether you want to send a link or you want to send the attachment, you kind of have some customization options. In the end, it really helps you deliver better service, stand out. So I hope you found this flow useful, and I'll see you in the next one.